Okay, everybody, welcome back. Sit down, get comfortable, because today we have a lot to cover, and I mean a lot. We are talking about Jeannie Mai, Paak, Jeezy, and Nia Long, and all four of these stories are connected and happening around the same time. It is a lot to take in, but I am going to break it all down for you in the simplest way possible so everything makes sense by the end. Let's go. So first, let me give you the background on Jeannie Mai for anyone who needs it. Jeannie Mai is a TV host and personality who used to co-host a talk show called The Real. She is fun, she is fashionable, she is always in the public eye, and she has been through a lot in her personal life over the past few years. Jeannie and rapper Jeezy got married on March 27, 2021, in an intimate ceremony in Atlanta. They were together for over 2 years before Jeezy pulled the plug on the marriage. And when it ended, it did not end quietly. It ended with lawsuits, allegations, custody battles, and drama all over the internet for months. Jeezy filed for divorce in September 2023. In his filing, he stated that he and Jeannie were currently living in a bona fide state of separation, and that the marriage was irretrievably broken, with no hope for reconciliation. So right away, from day one, it was clear that Jeezy was not interested in fixing things. He was done. Now Jeannie, on the other hand, was not taking it well at all. She had accused her ex of abuse in her own court filings, and the two went through a difficult and very public legal battle over their daughter Monaco and their shared assets. The whole thing became messy very fast and people were watching closely. Jeannie described the experience of divorce as experiencing death alive when she spoke about it on a podcast. Those are strong words, and you can tell that she was really going through it emotionally. She also opened up on multiple occasions about what it felt like to become a single mom suddenly, which was something she never planned for. Now let me get into what actually happened during the divorce, because it was very messy and very public, and you need to know the details to understand why people are still talking about this. According to People magazine, Jeannie alleged in court filings that Jeezy had explosive outbursts, excessive drinking, and that there were multiple instances of domestic abuse and child abuse. These were serious claims. She described multiple specific incidents in those court documents. One alleged incident happened on April 14, 2022 at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel in San Francisco. According to those documents, Jeezy allegedly choked Jeannie from behind as she was climbing the stairs and then pushed her down the stairs. The incident allegedly caught the attention of hotel security. In another incident, Jeannie claimed she was held in a vehicle against her will and that Jeezy struck her with a closed fist across her cheekbone and eye. She also alleged that at a major event in December 2022, he grabbed her by the neckline of her dress, tearing it, and leaving scratches across her chest. On top of all that, Jeannie also raised concerns about their daughter Monaco's safety. She claimed that she found their toddler near an AK-47 rifle that Jeezy had left in a bag in October 2023, and she also noted concerns over what she described as Jeezy's excessive drinking and explosive behavior. Now Jeezy pushed back on every single one of these claims. He said in a statement to E! News, "The allegations are not only false, but also deeply disturbing, especially coming from someone I loved. This malicious attempt to tarnish my character and disrupt my family is ridiculous." He added that his main concern was being an active father to their daughter and fighting for joint custody through the proper legal channels. Jeezy's legal team also made an interesting counter-argument. In new court documents, Jeezy's lawyers claimed that Jeannie had actually reached out to her doctor about the IVF process after Jeezy told her he was planning to file for divorce, suggesting that the abuse allegations only came up because he refused to have a second baby with her and decided to end the marriage. Obviously Jeannie's side completely denied that version of events. After all of that back and forth, Jeannie and Jeezy finalized their divorce in June 2024 in Georgia's Fulton County Superior Court. The terms of the settlement, including child support, custody arrangements, and property division, were all kept under seal, meaning neither side has shared the specific details publicly. So after the divorce was finalized, both Jeannie and Jeezy started talking separately about what they went through and what they learned from it. Jeannie posted a candid YouTube video in December 2025 titled, "Divorced, 46, Single, with a Toddler." She described the experience of her divorce as both earth-shattering and a wake-up call, and talked about the pressure and constant questions that come with being a very public figure going through something so personal. Jeezy also opened up around the same time. He appeared on a podcast series and talked about what the divorce taught him about himself. He said he learned about his preferences for things and the type of space he needs to decompress when life gets overwhelming. He also admitted he had been selfish in earlier parts of his life and that the divorce forced him to grow. And in terms of their relationship with each other now? Jeezy said on The Breakfast Club that he and Jeannie are now in a more peaceful place. He said, "I'm all about understanding, I'm all about what's best for everybody, the greater good. I don't want any enemies, I don't want any issues, I just want peace, joy, and freedom. That is nice to hear, honestly, because they do share a daughter together and that little girl needs both her parents to be decent to each other. Okay, now this is the part that really got the internet going crazy. Because while all of this divorce stuff was happening, Jeezy was also making moves in a completely different direction, and he eventually confirmed everything himself, on national radio, in June 2025. Let me take you back to November 2023. Jeezy and Nia Long did an interview together that was posted online. In that interview, Nia opened up about her very public breakup and called it a wake-up call for her. And Jeezy was right there listening, asking questions, and the chemistry between them was so obvious that fans immediately started talking. People in the comments were going crazy saying these two needed to get together. But nobody knew at the time if anything was actually happening between them. They both kept quiet about it. And then in June 2025, Jeezy went on The Breakfast Club and the hosts asked him directly, was he trying to shoot his shot at Nia Long during that 2023 interview? And Jeezy laughed and straight up said they wasn't lying. He confirmed it. Right there on the radio. No hiding, no dodging the question. He said yes, he was interested in her, and he was flirting during that interview. But he also explained why he kept it respectful at the time. Jeezy said it was a hard interaction, because his divorce from Jeannie was still not finalized when that interview happened. He said he had to keep things respectful and that he is not a cheater. His exact words were real men don't cheat, and if I'm locked in, I'm locked in. I'm just not a cheater, I'm not going to cheat my friends. That ain't in my blood. And then when the hosts asked him if he would actually pursue Nia Long now that his divorce was done, Jeezy said, absolutely, and even said she is definitely invited to his upcoming TM 101 20th anniversary tour. That man said what he said. Loudly. Publicly. And with full confidence. Now for anyone who is not fully familiar with Nia Long, let me give you the background because she is an incredibly important part of this story. Nia Long is a legendary actress. She has been in major films and has been a well-known name in Hollywood for decades. She is elegant, she is talented, and she is someone that people in the industry genuinely respect. She is 54 years old and she is still stunning, so when Jeezy said he was going after her, the internet completely understood why. But before we get to the Jeezy chapter, we have to talk about what Nia went through with her ex because it was genuinely one of the most painful and public breakups we have seen in recent years. Nia Long and Ayumi Udoka started dating in February 2010 after a mutual friend set them up. The following year they had a son together named Kez, and in 2015 people confirmed they were engaged. They were together for 13 years. That is a long time. That is a real relationship with a real foundation. And then in September 2022, everything fell apart. The Boston Celtics suspended Ayumi Udoka for the entire 2022-23 season for violating team policies. Reports confirmed he had an improper and consensual relationship with a female employee of the team. Now here is the part that made people especially upset on Nia's behalf. The woman Ayumi had an affair with was actually the Celtics travel planner, the same person who was in charge of booking Nia Long's flights to attend home and road games and was also handling Nia's arrangements to permanently move to Boston. So the woman organizing Nia's move to be closer to her man was the same woman her man was cheating with. That is a level of betrayal that is very hard to process. Nia went public with her pain. She told The Hollywood Reporter, I think the most heartbreaking thing about all of this was seeing my son's face when the Boston Celtics organization decided to make a very private situation public. It was devastating, and it still is. He still has moments where it's not easy for him. No one from the Celtics organization has even called to see if I'm okay, to see if my children are okay. It's very disappointing. That statement hit people very hard because you could feel how real the pain was. This was not just about a celebrity breakup. This was a mother watching her child suffer because of someone else's choices. Nia and Ayumi officially broke up in December 2022, with Nia's rep confirming that while they were no longer together, they remained committed to co-parenting their son Kez. After the breakup, there were also contentious legal battles over custody and financial support, which were ultimately settled in early 2024 with Nia gaining primary custody and Ayumi agreeing to pay roughly $32,500 a month in child support. After going through all of that, Nia started slowly opening up publicly about her healing process. And this is where the Jeezy connection starts to make even more sense. In November 2023, Nia sat down with Jeezy for that now famous interview and talked openly about her breakup for one of the first times publicly. She called the whole experience a wake-up call and said it taught her that she would be fine on her own and that she was not going to worry about what anyone thinks. What was interesting about that interview is that both of them were going through painful endings at almost exactly the same time. Nia's breakup from Ayumi happened in late 2022. Jeezy filed for divorce from Jeannie in September 2023. They were both in the thick of healing and rebuilding themselves when they sat down together and had that honest, raw conversation. Fans watching that interview saw something real happening. The way they talked to each other, the chemistry, the understanding, it was not like a regular celebrity interview. It felt like two people who genuinely connected over shared pain. And as we now know from Jeezy's own words on The Breakfast Club, he was already interested in Nia during that interview. He just kept it respectful because the timing was not right yet. By October 2025, Nia was speaking more openly about where she is emotionally. She told The Cut that she had traveled with her son and her ex-IME that summer and said they have reached a very public journey that has found its way to peace and understanding. She also said, "The most important gift you can give your kids is to heal your trauma." That is a woman who did the work. She healed. She came out stronger. And now she has Jeezy openly saying he wants to be with her. Now let's switch gears and talk about Jeannie Mai's current situation because this is also very interesting. In February 2026, Jeannie Mai was spotted getting very cozy with Anderson .Paak at his restaurant Andy's in West Hollywood. The two were seen sitting close together in a private booth and were clearly in their own little world. At one point Anderson had his arm around Jeannie as they leaned in close for what looked like a very intimate conversation. TMZ got the video. The internet went wild. Now Anderson .Paak is a 9-time Grammy-winning artist and one of the most talented musicians in the industry right now. He is the vocalist behind Silk Sonic, which he formed with Bruno Mars. He has an incredible career and a huge name in music. But Anderson is also going through his own personal situation. Anderson .Paak first filed for divorce from his wife Jeannie back in January 2024. And that divorce just sat there in the court system doing absolutely nothing for 2 whole years. Nobody was in a rush to finalize it. It was just sitting there. Before Jeannie came along, Anderson had also sparked dating rumors with other women. Shortly after filing for divorce, he was spotted in Mexico with a young Dutch musician named Ster Marith Tapalatu. Later in 2024, he was seen holding hands with Mariah Carey in Aspen after the two collaborated on a song together. But sources close to both Anderson and Mariah confirmed that their relationship was purely professional and that they had just gone to dinner after long hours in the studio. Then came the Jeannie Mai sightings. When TMZ caught up with Jeannie outside Andy's a couple weeks after the first sighting, she did not say a single word about what was going on between her and Anderson. She just flashed a big, knowing smile and kept walking right into the restaurant. That smile said everything without saying anything. But then something very interesting happened shortly after those sightings. Anderson's estranged wife Jeannie filed new legal documents requesting primary physical custody of their 2 kids, ages 9 and 13, along with spousal support. This was the first major legal movement in their divorce in over 2 years, and it happened right as the Anderson and Jeannie rumors were heating up. In her filing, Jeannie listed the date of separation as TBD and cited irreconcilable differences as the reason for the divorce. She is asking for primary physical custody, shared legal custody, and wants the court to give Anderson visitation rights with secondary custody. So essentially a divorce that was sleeping for 2 full years suddenly woke up right when Jeannie entered the picture. People noticed that. People talked about it. So let's put it all together and see where we are in April 2026. Jeannie Mai and Anderson .Paak have been spotted together multiple times at his restaurant. Neither of them has publicly confirmed the speculation, but they were recently spotted looking very cozy during what appeared to be a date night at a Los Angeles restaurant. The relationship is unconfirmed, but the sightings keep happening. Anderson .Paak's divorce from his wife of over a decade is finally moving through the courts after 2 years of nothing. The custody and financial details will likely be settled in the months ahead. Jeezy is out here openly saying he is interested in Nia Long, he plans to pursue her, and he even invited her to his tour. He confirmed that the timing was not right before since he does not cheat and was still finalizing his divorce. Now that Nia is single following her 2022 split from IME Udoka, Jeezy is no longer holding back on making his interest known. And Nia Long, for her part, has been healing beautifully, co-parenting peacefully, and living her best life. Whether she and Jeezy actually become a couple officially is still something we are waiting on. But the groundwork is clearly there. As for Jeannie, she has said in recent interviews that she is dating with intention and not desperation. After one previous marriage and a very public and painful breakup from Jeezy, she has said she is moving slower, thinking deeper, and making sure she never loses herself inside a relationship again. That is actually growth. That is actually something worth noting. Whatever is or is not happening with Anderson .Paak, at least Jeannie sounds like someone who is approaching this new chapter in her life with more awareness than before. Okay, so now you have the full story. Let me wrap it all up for you cleanly. We have 4 very talented, very human people, Jeannie Mai, Anderson .Paak, Jeezy, and Nia Long, all going through their own journeys at the same time. All four of them have dealt with very public breakups, messy legal situations, and real emotional pain. And somehow all four of their stories are now connected in this one big web of Hollywood drama. What makes this interesting is not the gossip itself, it is what it says about how people handle heartbreak. Jeezy went through a nasty, public, painful divorce and came out saying he wants peace and joy and freedom. Nia went through one of the most humiliating public betrayals you can imagine and came out saying the most important thing you can do for your kids is heal your own trauma. Anderson went through a long, quiet separation and is now slowly stepping back into public life. And Jeannie went through everything she went through and is now saying she is choosing herself first. All four of them are figuring it out. Just like the rest of us. Just with a lot more cameras watching. That is the full story. All real, all verified, no made-up stuff. If you made it to the end of this, thank you for being here. Drop a comment, share this with someone who follows celebrity news, and I will see you in the next one.